7 days to hammer out the rest of the contract. O'Brien has said that they are on 95% of the contract, but on 5% that's left, the wages and the full-time jobs, they're still really far apart on.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
UPS has agreed to come back to the table after pressure from the Teamsters unions. The Teamster Union practice pickets all across the country. The workers showing what it will look like when they go on strike, going off duty, not asking anybody to, not work or for a consumer boycott or anything like that, but just, practicing how the picket line works, because strikes are pretty infrequent, and the last one was in 1997. So there's a lot of people at UPS who haven't been through a strike. They don't know what to do. They don't know what the rules are. They don't know what best practices are. And so this is a really good opportunity just for logistically to get people in the rhythm, right? But also again, to show that the union means business. They are not just screwing around. They are ready to strike, and they will if necessary. And so that's what those practice pickets are all about. And another thing that was really important in the last week is the pilots union. They said that they are going to honor the picket lines. They will not be flying UPS work during a strike, which is huge. And it's huge because, for one, because the pilots are not represented by the Teamsters. It is a different union. Also, it is huge because despite them having a no strike clause, so they're not going to go on strike, they're just not going to cross a picket line, which I have recently learned is every worker's individual right under the National Labor Relations Act. You can never be forced as a condition of your employment to cross a picket line. So that's something that more and more people should really be taking advantage of. And this pilots union is going to be taking advantage of it. So 3,300 pilots have, their union has said, we're going to not be crossing the picket line. We're not going to be flying UPS stuff if there is a strike, which puts that much more pressure on UPS. And so I think really that the pilots and the practice picket situations, showing that the workers here are really, they're ready for a strike. That kind of stuff is all really coming together to bring UPS to the table. And so they did come to the table, and they are going to be meeting again for negotiations on July the 25th, which is Wednesday, I believe. Let's see, Sunday's the 23rd, Monday's the 24th, Tuesday's the 25th. Okay, so it's on Tuesday, which only gives 7 days.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
7 days to hammer out the rest of the contract. Teamsters International President Sean O'Brien has said that they are basically there on 95% of the contract, but on the 5% that's left, the wages and the full-time jobs and things like this, they're still really far apart on. So far apart, in fact, that you'll remember the UPS proposal was leaked, and the UPS economic proposal was to cut the top tier of package car driver pay 25% after record profits, right? They're not even offering concessionary raises. They're not offering raises that are less than inflation. They're saying, no, in fact, what we need to do is cut pay by 25%. The Teamsters said this at the time. Multiple Teamsters called into the show and agreed that that is an insult, really just a spit in the face to the people who create the value for UPS, who actually deliver the packages for UPS, and to the union that they're a part of. And so they walked away from that and came back later, and there was still not any movement. And so UPS walked away from the table, refused to bargain until this week. And so we're going to see what happens. We are also tentatively going to be talking to Teddy Ostro again on the 29th on that Saturday, because on the 29th, we're only going to be 2 days away from a potential UPS Teamsters strike. And so he's going to give us the latest and greatest on that and see, we're going to see if we can kind of look into the crystal ball and see if there's going to be a strike or not. obviously I think that a strike would be it would be educational for the American public to see what a strike can do, but also I do think that it would be almost as educational if they're just able to get a good contract after a credible strike threat, because a lot of times that's all it really takes is a credible strike threat. If you demand something and your boss, your employer does not believe that you're willing to stand up for it, then they are much more likely to just say no. But if you demand something and you show that you are not only saying that you're willing to, put some amount of risk on the table, you're willing to cost them a lot of money, then they're much more likely to comply. They're much more likely to buckle. And so, I think that's what we're seeing with UPS, with the movement that we're seeing. And so we will, we're just going to have to see if it's enough to keep the rank and file UPS workers from striking.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.